What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about why Norway is so happy. How do you do it? I found this video here on Norway's tips for achieving happiness, which sounds like some kind of self-help book or something, but honestly, I'm very, very interested. I want to hear this. Norway has time and time again famously been one of the highest ranked countries in the world for happiness. They've been measuring it recently. You know, Norway, Sweden, Finland, Denmark they're all so much on the top of this all the time. They're always in the top 5. And Norway in particular is always ranked so highly for happiness. Compared to America, which is ranked like 19th or 20th, we're not even in the top 10. So we really do have a lot to learn from Norway. And, you know, happiness is important. As a matter of fact, you could argue it's the most important thing. When you're talking about life and enjoying life and living, that most people would place that pretty highly on priorities. So I think Americans should honestly all watch this video here to get some tips on how Norway is doing it. And I'm fascinated, so let's take a look.
And the happiest people on Earth are officially the Norwegians. They eat lots of fresh seafood, they live with breathtaking scenery, and the long dark winters don't seem to dampen their spirits. For the first time, Norway's taken the top spot in the United Nations World Happiness Report.
You know, that's a good point. Norway gets a lot of snow. The climate and the sunlight is all over the place sometimes, and yet, despite that, Norwegians are super happy. So Norway doesn't even let its like weather or climate influence it. I will say Norway is very beautiful. Very, very, very beautiful, which probably helps.
Is Norway #1?
Yes.
Wow.
It is not the weather, because it's very cold, but I think it's the nature and the people.
It's a free country with, you can speak your mind and, yeah.
We can appreciate like changes and that we're also content with it.
I think Norway's population has to do with it as well. Norway has like a really good sized population and population density where it's difficult to get like in America to get like 300 million people all on the same page and working together and agreeing on things. But Norway, with about 5 million citizens, seems to enact a lot. It can enact changes and policies quickly and come to decisions quickly and concisely. And on top of that, Norway makes good decisions of policy and taking care of people and things that like make working more of a positive experience, honestly, and benefits that you get in Norway, working and time off, and all these little things that really, man, the more I think about it, it's not really a surprise that Norway ranks so highly in happiness.
Bjørn Vittersø is a psychologist and happiness researcher. He's been trying to find out what makes people contented with their lives, or not, since the 1980s. And why are his own countrymen at the top of the international ranking?
People are more equal here than they are other places in the world, and that has a lot of benefits to it. For example, people trust each other more when they are on equal footing.
Wow. So he actually studies this. He's a psychologist who studies this in Norway. And the first thing he says is people are equal and they trust each other. That is definitely an issue in America of equality, or at least people feeling equal, and the actuality of being on equal footing and opportunity. That's a problem. And therefore, yeah, trust in each other. Just trust in each other, in other people. That is a problem in America. So this makes a lot of sense to me.
And trust, we know, is a very important factor for you to thrive and be comfortable and satisfied with your life.
The northern city of Tromsø can serve as an example. The educational system is excellent. The state provides healthcare, and unemployment and poverty are low.
I knew that would be a big part of this. The health benefits, healthcare, also access to education. Yeah, there's a lot of things that stick out for why Norway has more happiness. It's making a lot of sense.
Jør Vittersø works at the Arctic University of Tromsø, the world's northernmost. He asserts that the positive attitude of people in the high north plays a big part in their overall contentment.
In some parts of the world, you actually see that the less daylight, the more depression you can observe. That is not the case in Norway, so that in northern Norway, it seems that people have found ways of adapting to the dark period. They have activities they look forward to conduct during the winter.
I was thinking just about this exact thing. With Norway and darkness and sunlight and climate, I hear this in America a lot where it's like if you don't get outside, if you don't get exposed to sunlight, you'll get depressed. And that's a major reason and a big factor a lot of people count on in America. But in reality, Norwegians have to deal with that more than Americans. Yet Norwegians have found a way to adapt and cope and still be #1 ranked in happiness. Huh.
Which compensate, and even more than compensate, for the dark period.
Skiing, the national sport, was invented in Norway.
Yeah.
Tromsø has plenty of snow on the ground for 6 months of the year. The northern lights and the sled dog runs are a part of life. During the short summers, many Norwegians love to go hiking with family and friends. The law allows everyone to make camp and even build a fire in the open.
Wow, that makes so much sense. You know, Norway as a culture, just to me, seems to emphasize getting out, getting into nature, maybe visiting your cabin, or going skiing, or hiking. Yes, that is so much bigger in Norway than in America by a lot. That's emphasized a lot more in Norway. And without a doubt, that makes people's attitudes better and healthier.
In Norwegian, it's called allemannsretten. That's a very long tradition in Norway. I think it's almost 1,000 years old, that you are allowed to trespass other people's property. You can even hunt there, but it should be in agreement with the owner, but the owner cannot deny you accessing it and using it.
I don't think no law like that exists in America, but there's not really a need for that because a lot of Americans just don't get out and get into nature and hike and do athletic things, and it's a big problem, and it affects your happiness. It affects your health and your happiness.
From the age of 2, children at this daycare center in Tromsø spend their days outside, no matter what the weather.
Yeah. This right here is proof. I watched Norwegian Kindergarten a while back, and my mind was blown by how Norway emphasizes letting children and kids get outside, get their hands dirty, do stuff physical. And Americans do not emphasize that. Definitely not during school or as part of a regiment.
Kjell Kampervold co-founded this open-air daycare center, one of many in Norway.
Wow.
He believes the key to happiness can be found in the Norwegians' closeness to nature.
Yeah.
Yes, I really think that my kids are really happy. More kids play together without...
When I picture an American child now, in 2022, you picture them with like a snack. You picture them sitting inside their house with their iPad or a cell phone. That's what you picture. In Norway, literally the daycares and the kindergartens are getting the kids outside. And Norway knows how important that is, but I don't think America does.
Fighting.
Birgit Hem and Konrad Helgeland live with their 4 children not far from Tromsø. They both have jobs and share the housework. They make an extra effort to make their home cozy, koselig in Norwegian, especially when it's cold outside.
Yeah.
I think Norwegians are, they like having a cozy home and candles when it's dark and make nice food and be with their family and have a good time.
Birgit Hem is also quite happy that she doesn't have to worry about her children's future.
A lot of this stuff seems like what Americans picture as a vacation or as something special or abnormal. But in Norway, a lot of this cozy, happy feeling is normal. It's just day-to-day life. That's a huge difference, just a cultural difference.
Jor Vittersø says governments can do much to enhance the people's happiness, but individuals can too.
I think that we need more attention towards what really matters in our lives. I think actually it's good for people to reflect a little bit upon what is important for me, what should I do with my life, and not just go along the flow and follow what is supposed to be the road to success.
Yeah.
Norwegians have their own word for a special kind of happiness. Utepils, to sit in the sunshine and enjoy a beer.
Utepils, to sit outside in the sun and have a beer. Yeah.
During Arctic summers with over 20 hours of daylight, Norwegians have plenty of opportunity to experience these happy moments.
Wow. Wow, wow. It's so obvious when you have it presented to you. It makes complete sense, but yet Americans don't do it, don't prioritize it. Wow, this was by DW News. I liked this. I really, really did like this. Wow. It's not like some magic. It's not miraculous. It's not impossible for Americans to understand this. I immediately get it. It's just like prioritizing the correct things. That's so crucial to promoting happiness in a culture. And Norway has perfected it. That's why they're at the top of these happiness rankings, average happiness. Man, it's not even... You just got to do things correctly. You just got to put emphasis on the correct things, and that's all it takes. But changing the entire culture of a nation like America, that's where the hard part comes in. Are there any comments on this? Any comments? Congratulations, Norway. What every country should strive for. Such a beautiful lifestyle. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. When Americans see this, we go, wow, that's amazing. That's such a beautiful lifestyle. So incredible. We Norwegians, this is day-to-day life. This is just normal. Americans need to stop thinking that this is all impossible and foreign. And we need to start thinking, okay, we could incorporate this into our lives. We could do this. This does not have to be some kind of rare, special thing. But it's easier said than done. Man, I really am considering going to Norway, a place where peace seems to thrive with nature. Right, at the beginning they were talking about people having the freedom to speak to each other, equality, and trust. Obviously very important things. This makes me want to visit the happiest place on earth. Awesome. This video seems to focus a lot on nature. Yes, I agree. Nature is important, especially getting kids outside. But also other things like taxes and education and social welfare are important as well. And job happiness. Yep. A lot of really important things. Man, wow. I enjoyed this video. I did. It also makes me a little sadder for America, but happy at the same time to like learn about the things, these tips on what we can do better. Wow. Okay. If you enjoyed this video, thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or a like. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Norway, Norwegian culture, stuff in Norway that I have never seen, feel free to subscribe for more. And with that being said, thanks for watching, and see you next time.